Hello there, and welcome to another Brute Squad, Brute Attack, Bruteness. Okay, so we're going after DC. Man, I actually have, like, MA stuff. Oh man, the time to put everything together. Even this particular video, I am really putting together because, well, chances are you're probably tuning in because you were expecting, you know, like a War Factory or Hammermen or something, and unfortunately, I am out of the country. I am on the vacation. I pre-recorded this because I didn't want to leave everyone hanging with nothing at all to watch for a couple of days, so, ta-da! Sorry. It is awesome, though. I'm really excited. As you can see, Triple B just absolutely roasting Tech Crunch. Beautiful solo. And, yes, things are flashing by a little bit quicker than normal. That's because, you know, like, come on, we've seen, I'm pretty sure, probably all of these bases by now, and, you know, it's not as important to see the fine details on some of these bases because we've seen them before, and it's okay. So, I am definitely trying to keep the length of this video a little bit shorter than previous videos because, you know, they run like half an hour, and I'm just like, holy smokes, by the end of it, I, like, can't even talk, my mouth is so dry, I'm just like, so, we're trying things out. Now, one of the things we have been doing a lot of lately has been exactly this, the bullet hits, you know, trying different hits that we frequently do, only mixing it up instead of going like all Zooka with Brick, throwing in a bullet, using him to deflect some shots. We've kind of been playing around with it. Don't get Triple M confused with Triple B, by the way. I'm pretty sure, like, we had the 2 trips in the task force for, like, a week, and I didn't even realize it was 2 different people. I don't even understand. I was just like, oh yeah, there's Trip, and then it was not until I was like, hey, wait a minute, I thought you were gonna hit this, and, yeah, 2 trips, don't get confused. Be better than the beard. Alright, so, as I was saying, just kind of like quickly blasting through some of the regular attacks, and I have a very special, I guess, hit or solo. I don't know what you'd want to call it because technically it's like 3 hits, but we'll get there when we get there. Aside from that, you know, like business as usual, obviously we're working on trying some new strats, trying to just kind of like take our game to the next level so that we can run around and, you know, do maybe some higher, maybe Forlorn Hope if we're lucky eventually, you know, and we're getting there. So, as you can see, Tails strolls in, takes down the Conifold, or however you want to pronounce it. I, on the other hand, rolled in, and, like a champ, took the low-laying fruit, like, not even hanging, like, this was on the ground, all I had to do was bend over and pick it up. Going after Orby, not like that big of a deal. I actually kind of messed up because of the placement of my troops and stuff. I went a little further over, but I was able to recover, which is good because then I strolled in here. Really nice, super easy 4 shocks, and then wham wham, threw some critters because I had some extra energy. But Orby down, always a nice easy base when you see that pop up and you're like, I got you, bud. Now, this is the hit, though, that I was talking about, and it's kind of a solo because it's the same person. It's actually a hopper who was kind enough to come in and give us a hand, and I get the impression that he's probably done this maybe once or twice, just due to like certain things, like the perfect placement of those warriors in between the 2 machine guns so they can't get hit by anything. Also, the one warrior distracting the rocket launcher so like he can land, and like look at that grouping. Okay, like okay, he hit a mine. Oh no. But absolutely perfect path. The smokes are just kissing each other. Like everything about this attack. And the more I watch this attack, because obviously while I was going through and editing and like taking the raw video, trying to like turn it into something decent, as I went through and did this, I watched this attack a couple of times over. And I gotta say, like, it really is obscene how perfect all of these attacks go. And you'll see as this kind of unfolds. So, obviously, first attack, he's taking out the shields on the left-hand side, and then runs his troops up into the very top to let them go. Now, down here, these warriors, you can't forget these warriors, they're still kind of working away. They've now taken out the machine guns, they're working up the nodes, and slowly getting towards the core. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, who cares about those warriors? I think there's something I should have actually mentioned at the very beginning, and that is, he is doing this without any boost. Now, don't get me wrong, he's definitely got some awesome statues, because he had like 70% troop damage and 100 and something energy. So like, he is definitely like, he is stacked when it comes to the statues. But the point is, I wouldn't be able to do this if I was boosted, let alone unboosted. So I truly do love this attack. Like, the perfect timing on the critters to distract the rocket launcher, and then you can see he just kind of like strolls through towards the last rocket, throws a shock down, just to keep enough Zookas alive that he can finish it off. And meanwhile, the whole time down in the bottom, like, these crazy warriors are farming up energy for him so that he can do all this craziness in the back without having to do the boost. And ultimately, you know, start setting himself up for the next hit, which also, for the record, is completely unboosted. So, first couple, he throws in some warriors in the back there. Not a big deal. It's taking out the rocket launchers. It's also getting him some energy, and it's buying him some time to kind of set up the rest of his walk, which is absolutely beautiful. Like, the over on the left-hand side there by the sniper towers, you can see how small that gap is. And I don't know where this particular hopper came from, like where he got his skills, but my goodness, like the precision of these hits, just I absolutely love it. When I saw the hits, I was like, all right, wow, those are really impressive. And then I realized they were unboosted, and I geeked out. I was just like, what? This is incredible. Like, because these really are great hits. Like, look at that timing. He lets his Zookas fan out and just go after the machine guns, and just as they're getting to the width of a smoke, drops the flare, pulls them all in. Like, that is something else. I'm sorry. It's truly astounding. And then, like, as he's strolling through, the spacing on the smokes, the timing on the smokes, perfect. Like, even look at Sparky here. Sparky is running right alongside his troops as he pulls in at the end of his march. Like, it really couldn't have been any better. I don't understand how it's even possible. And still at the back there, the warriors are working away on the rocket launcher, you know, doing their thing, which is good, because what that does is distract some things. And that right there, I'm sorry, I need to take a moment. Wow. Comes out of the smoke, throws down the remote control on the rocket launcher, re-smokes, keeps all his Zookas alive, and you can see he's kind of trolling around in the back there doing his thing. The warrior is actually doing the vast majority of the distraction on the rocket launcher there, and then, you know, he kind of works through the backside, clearing things up. But while he's doing that, he's also looking like 2 steps ahead, because as his Sparky gets into position, he whacks that remote control, and because of the positioning, obviously that mortar is the only thing there that they can hit, and he ends up with a bunch of Zookas in this top corner, just able to take down the shield gens without having to worry about mortars firing on him, not having to fire any shocks. Like, he even still has the warrior killing nodes. Just fantastic planning, and I don't even know. I literally was left speechless for like 3 seconds. So, again, making use of the warriors, that's the other crazy thing. Like, all of this would have had to have been orchestrated since that troop was put into the game, which wasn't that long ago that we got it made available to us. So, like, this particular person either learned from someone ridiculously smart who was able to, like, figure this all out, or figured it all out himself. I don't know. I don't know where this came from or how it happened, but as you can see, it is really, really impressive. So he starts cleaning things up in the back, and then in comes Sparky again with these crazy remote controls, where he basically takes out all of the flamethrowers that could have done bad things, and just Sparkies them away, so he doesn't have to deal with them, and then flares himself into perfect position as the warriors are working on the shield gens. But here's the crazy part. Look at this. The smoke is wearing out. They're moving in. Just as the smoke goes down, the warrior takes out the shield gen. Like, that... How do you time that? I don't even understand. I am mind blown. But to Dangerous, because it's the easiest of the names to try and pronounce. Bravo. Absolutely amazing hit. I am in awe of the Boom Beach skills happening there. Even if he didn't figure that hit out himself, just to pull it off, you gotta have the cojones the size of, you know, Boomtown. So, fantastic, fantastic job. Moving back on to the regular business, starting, I guess, what is this? Humblepie with a nice little clear here. Doing the Humblepie pie? I don't know. Clearing up the gens on the right-hand side, obviously, you know, using Grens and whatnot. Now, one of the things we have been experiencing as a task force, especially as of late, is I guess we've had some turnover, which, you know, that's normal, and not everybody is quite perfectly familiar with some of the strats that we normally use. So, unfortunately, only able to get the gens on the right-hand side. The good news is Mez rolls in with his heavies, and I don't even know how he does this during this hit. It's really pretty impressive. If you'll see, he clumps his heavies up, and they just, like, take out all of the extra mines. I don't understand how he kept them clumped up so perfectly, but they're able to take out the mines, make the path clear for the Zookas to get into the very back, and then, after he gets in the very back, throws a whole bunch of shocks and takes out all 4 of the shield generators like a pro. I know it doesn't look that impressive, but if you've tried doing that hit, it really is an intense hit, because what ends up happening is when you get way back there, because of the delay of the throw, I guess, because you've got to wait for the flares to get so long, you have to, like, be throwing the flares before your Zookas even shoot at the shield gen. The timing has to be so very careful. It really is a tough hit to get all 4 of those shield gens So bravo, Mez, as always, absolutely fantastic, doing crazy things with, I don't know, crazy skills. So, after taking down the back, ultimately what we're really aiming for, because we are still a task force that is growing and trying to learn new skills and trying to improve, obviously we want to take out the back gens in one hit. We want to take out these side gens in one hit eventually, because it does really reduce the number of hits that you need to spend on Humblepie, because it can eat those hits so much. It's absolutely crazy how many you can lose, how quickly you can lose them. And you know, the ultimate goal, like I said, is to move on to a more frequent massive attack, or even Forlorn Hope, where those extra hits start to really matter. So, to finish things almost off, poor Dan just got robbed. Almost took the core completely down, but unfortunately was not able to finish it. The good news is, No Fly strolls right on in at the end, is able to throw down some warriors just because that was what was loaded, some arts and barts, and we finish off the Humblepie, which takes us to Sliding Block. And this is, like, it's almost a deceptive sliding block. Like, you're like, it's sliding block, it's easy, it's nice. What's really nasty about this particular sliding block is, as you can see, there aren't as many nodes to farm for energy as you would normally see in other, I guess, variations of this base. So, a fantastic job done here by Crunch. As you can see, he left the one rocket launcher and used the warriors to distract that rocket launcher while his Zookas came in and did as much damage as possible to everything until he could kind of get up and clear that out. It allows him to take out all of the shield gens. It was a little rough. He did get hit by a couple of things, but for the most part, absolutely fantastic job. And then goes into farming. Now, this is where the big difference is. Normally, you would have been able to do all of that, use up a whole bunch of energy because you farmed up like 20 or 30 extra nodes down at the bottom. Unfortunately, because of the lack of nodes, he starts running a little bit short on the energy, and as you can see, things start getting pretty tough as he strolls in here for the final blast at the HQ, or, well, the core, sorry. But even that being said, he's still able to take down half the core. Fantastic run by Crunch. He, crunched that base? Alright, no, it's horrible, sorry. So come on, sometimes you're gonna hit it, sometimes it's a swing and a miss. What am I gonna do? So, Mez comes in with the baby account, strolls right up through, past everything. Fortunately, once the shield is gone on Sliding Block, it really isn't that scary of a base. He throws out some shocks and some critters, and I'm pretty sure probably took that down without losing a single Zooka. We'll move on to Dioxin, which is the final core of this particular DC, and as you can see, it's pretty rough. You got a scary little laser beam down there on the shore, making it a hot landing. Like, anytime you add 2 extra smokes onto a run, that gets pretty rough. It's kind of nasty. So fantastic job. He gets all the mines cleared that you need to clear, gets everything up into the right position, and I'm pretty sure he probably could have pulled off the solo, except unfortunately he missed the one mortar and was just a tiny bit late on the shocks. Good news being, we have Jay to come in at the end. I love this landing, a picture perfect landing. I wish I could do that. I'm a little bit jealous, I'm not gonna lie to you. And he takes out the core, finishing it off. absolutely fantastic job done by all involved. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully it's been entertaining. And above all else, hopefully you guys have a fantastic day.